Hey ladies. So this audio live then is all about why talking about yourself is what helps you to get clients. And I know a lot of people will say, okay, well, if aren't I supposed to be talking about my client? Aren't I supposed to be talking about their struggles? Aren't I supposed to be talking about their problems, what they want, what their solution should be, all those kind of things? Shouldn't I be talking about my clients? And yes, in a way you should be talking about them, but if you don't talk about yourself, how are people going to get to know you? How are people going to like you? And how are people going to trust you if they don't know you? Essentially, if you want people to buy from you, they need to know who you are, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And it's the same with anything. If you went out and you were walking down the street and somebody said to you, can I borrow $10 or £10 or wherever it might be, the answer would most likely be no, because you don't know them, you don't like them, and you definitely don't trust them. But if your friend who you've known for a long time, who you obviously like and trust, said to you, can I borrow $10? Yeah, sure. Chances are you might not even ask for the money back because you know them and you like them and you trust them. And while I'm not saying that you have to make friends with your clients in order for them to buy from you, what I am saying is they need to get to know you. And one of the best ways for them to get to know you is to talk about yourself. And when it comes to sharing your story, it's one of those things where you might feel like, okay, well, I've passed that time in my life. That's not relevant to me anymore. I've been through whatever the problem is. If you help people lose weight, and you yourself have, you've lost quite a lot of weight and you've been there and you've done that, you might think, well, why do I need to talk about me losing weight? Surely the fact that I've lost weight is enough for people to say, okay, I need to work with this person. And it's well, actually, no, it isn't. Because there are so many other people out there who do what you do. There are, and it's just a fact that there are so many other people out there doing what you do, that just saying, hey, I'm, a weight loss coach or a business coach or a virtual assistant isn't enough. You need to differentiate yourself from all those other people that could potentially help your ideal client. Because at the end of the day, your ideal client is most likely a previous version of you. So it's a person who is where you were, this time last year, or this time 5 years ago, or even this time 6 months ago, depending on what it is. The person who you're wanting to work with is, like I said, a previous version of you. So if you've lost, 50 pounds and you want to go and help other people lose weight, you need to talk about the person you were when you still had that 50 pounds to lose. You need to talk about that person who struggled to do exercise every day, who, hated sticking to a diet plan, who would rather, put spoons in their eyes than calorie count, all of those kinds of things. You need to talk about those things, because unless you can say to your ideal client, I get you, I understand where you're coming from, I know who you are, I know the struggles you're facing, they're not going to make that connection of why they need to work with you. And that is exactly what you need to do when you're talking about yourself to bring in clients, is to say, I get you. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all any of us really want. When we have a problem and we're looking for this solution, you want to work with somebody who understands, and somebody who makes you feel like they understand. Because if at the end of the day, if you were trying to lose weight and you went to somebody who has never been overweight in their entire life, who can eat whatever they want and never exercise and miraculously be, a size 8, a size 10, whatever, why would you work with them? Because they don't get you. And the last thing you want is to go to somebody and say, okay, this is my problem. And somebody go, oh, really? Is that it? Like, seriously? Can't you just like stop eating or something? That isn't the kind of person you want to work with when it comes to something like that. So it's the same, like whether you're a business coach or a virtual assistant, you want to tell people, I understand your situation. So if you're a mindset coach and somebody says to you, well, why should I work with you? And you say, okay, well, I'm going to help you change your mindset. Brilliant. But there's also 1,000 other people in Facebook groups that could help me do that. But if you said to somebody, well, I get where you are right now. I understand that when it comes to mindset, it can be difficult to change because, this time last year, I was in this situation and this is what I did to turn it around and this is the difference mindset made for me. They're more likely to say, yeah, I totally get that. I should work with you because you understand. And really that is it. Talking about yourself helps your clients to see that you understand, that you get them, that the problems they face are problems that you can help them overcome. So when it comes to things like if you're a business coach and you say, okay, well, I want to help people make more money in their business. If you don't make any money in your business, how are you going to convey to people that you know how to help them make money? If you want to help people sign, $3,000 clients, if you've never signed a $3,000 client, how are you going to show people that you can help them do that? But at the same time, if you can say, okay, well, I know how to grow my Instagram following by 100 people in a week. So if you're talking about how, when you signed up to Instagram and you had no followers and, it took you months and months to work it out, but you implemented, these 3 simple steps and all of a sudden you had 100 followers in a week. People are more likely to be interested because you're saying, I've been where you are, I did something about it, and these are the results I got. So if you're in this position, let me tell you what I did and let's get those results together. Because I don't want you to waste 6 months of your time, on Instagram or whatever it might be, trying to do what I did. I've been there, I've done that. Let me help you get there quicker. If you want results now, work with me and I'll help you get those results now. And that is essentially what you're doing when you're talking about yourself. You are creating that kind of story, that narrative for your clients to follow, to say, I have been where you are. I have faced those same problems or challenges or whatever it might be, and I've come out the other side of it and I have had the kind of results you want. Because at the end of the day, like I said, if you were trying to lose weight, are you going to go with the person who knows what it takes to lose 10 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds, whatever it might be? Or are you going to go with the person who, has McDonald's 3 times a week, who doesn't do any exercise, but somehow stays thin because they've got good genes? Which one are you going to go to? Are you going to go to the one who says, well, maybe you should just track your calories? Or are you going to go to the other person who says, it's not enough to track your calories. I was in the same place and I did A, B, and C, and that made such a huge difference. Which one is more appealing at the end of the day? So whether you're, a virtual assistant, and that's the thing with virtual assistants, you might be thinking, okay, well, I don't want to, help other virtual assistants. I want to help business coaches or, social media managers or whatever it might be. But being able to share your story and saying, I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed and to feel like you don't have time for things that are important to you. And by working with me, I can help you make that time. That is the kind of thing that's going to help. And obviously it's not quite the same. And I know a lot of these are essentially sort of a similar or the same problem that you're talking about. But essentially what you want to do is make that connection that says, I understand. So whatever example you can give. So like I said, if it is a virtual assistant and you say, okay, no, I'm not a business coach, but I understand what it takes to run a business because I'm also running a business and I get what it's like to not have enough time to, also live my life or go to family events or to spend time with my kids. And that's why, if you hire a virtual assistant, I'll help you get that time back so you can do those things, because I know what it's like to miss out on those. Those kind of things. It is essentially what you want to do. It's a story, and obviously a true story, don't just make something up, but a true story that helps your client connect with you. Because once they've connected with you, once they know you, once they like you, once they trust you, that's when they're more likely to buy from you. So whether you're putting out an offer for, a self-study course, whether it's a discovery call, whether you're, filling a group program, or even for a freebie, whatever it might be, you still have to sell it. But if you've built that connection with people, it's so much easier to sell because they already know that you understand them. And if they know you understand them and they know that you've been in a similar, if not the same situation, and you've come through the other side of it, they're so much more likely to trust you and to buy from you, because they have that deeper understanding that yes, you probably can help them. So if you're struggling to talk about yourself, if you're struggling to kind of see the relevance of your story, your message, and you're struggling with how to position yourself online to attract those ideal clients, there's a link in the description of this audio live. It's bit.ly/30min content. You can use that link to book a free 30-minute call with me, or I will go through your story with you. I'll help you pick out the relevant parts, the bits that you can share with your clients to essentially attract the right people. Because if you're sharing your story, if you're sharing the examples of things that your ideal clients are going through right now, that's how you're going to attract those people, because they're going to identify with it. You want them to say, me too. And when you get to that point where they're saying, you get me, you understand, because I'm there too, I've been through that situation, like I said, me too, that's when you're going to be attracting the people who need you the most, who you want to work with, who you get each other. And when you have that shared connection, when you already have that kind of mutual understanding, there's no need for pushy sales tactics. There's no need for 1,000,001 follow-up messages or emails, because you're already starting off in that place of, like I said, mutual respect, mutual trust, and obviously, hopefully you like each other. But you'll be in that position to say, okay, I know what you're going through. I've been there, I've done that. Let me help you. Let's work on this together. And that is where sales becomes easy. So like I said, if you're struggling with how your story can help you attract clients, use the link in the description. It's bit.ly/30min content. You can book a free 30-minute content call with me, and we'll go through your story. We'll go through how you can use it to attract your ideal client and how you can make sales easy. So if you've got any questions, any comments, do let me know. Obviously, if you're listening live, thank you so much for listening live. If you're catching the replay, then thank you very much for catching the replay. If you are catching the replay, any questions, like I said, feel free to put them in the comments and I will get back to you, obviously, as soon as I see the notification. But if there's no questions from anybody on live, I will leave it at that. And like I said, don't be afraid to share your story, because your story is one of the things that is going to help your ideal clients connect with you the most. So thank you very much for listening, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.